the cloud. Boom.
19, 18, 17, 16.
Let's put the camera out the window so I can see your boat.
Okay. Hey, you guys, I guess I am now the hostess, and I am so excited to share with you today what I've got to share. You know, I've been with the company about 7 months, and honestly, most of everyone who is on here, I've had the privilege of meeting, and honestly, we're such a young company and we're growing so fast, and we are such a company that has a heart. It's as if I know every single one of you. And so I'm excited to share with you what I've got today. First, I'd love to tell you about my story. My background's in the apparel world. I've been a manufacturer, developer, merchandiser. I've sold retail, wholesale, and I've liquidated garments for years and years. That is my actual degree, my garment industry has been my background. I had a tragedy in my life, a family tragedy that happened in 2004, and I had been terminated from corporate America, which had said it was a corporate downsizing, but it really wasn't. It was all about insurance, and it was a whole different situation. And there I was at home with 2 kids and severely disabled former husband. And there I had to figure out how to make some money. That was the first time I considered doing a home-based business, and I knew nothing about it, absolutely nothing. But when you're in that kind of situation, you get to make some choices, and I had to own my life. And I can tell you it was the best decision that I've ever made. When I started with Elevocity in 2017, I was blown away. The first thing I did, my husband came home, he said, "Hey, would you like a cup of coffee? I'm not a coffee drinker." And when I had the opportunity of taking that, but I said, "Of course, sure, I'll have a cup of coffee." You know, I mean, I love the guy. I'll have a cup of coffee. And what the coffee did for me was one of the most remarkable things that has ever happened. About an hour later, he says to me, "So how do you feel?" And I said, "You know, I feel like my lights went on. My brains clicked on. And I didn't realize that I didn't feel as good as I could feel until I felt better." And what, excuse me, I'm just gonna mute. What happened was I started to feel better. And I said to him, "I don't know if this is a business for us or not." We were actually looking for a home-based business. We had done 1 or 2 in the 2 years that we had been married. But honestly, either the product wasn't good or the company didn't hold up. And for our business, we've got both. And that kind of blew my mind. I said, "I don't know if this is a business for me to do or not, but I can tell you, quite frankly, I will never go a day without the coffee." And what it has done for me in 7 months, some of the symptoms that I had were very similar to PTSD, and that was from being a caretaker for 10 years, living a 911 life. I didn't realize that under pressure, my mental Rolodex wasn't clicking in. And what the coffee did for me is it engaged all of it. And over a period of time, I really was able to dig very deep down into my memory. Things came back together again. I had my mathematical skills together again. You know, it's really foolish when you're looking at simple math and under pressure, I couldn't do the math. Well, I've built 4 dynamic businesses over the years, all done on conceptual understanding of what that dynamics of income was going to be. So I knew that I was off. So the coffee has done all that for me. What I want to share with you today is not only just a little bit of who I am. My name is Julie Walden. I live in Southern California and near the beach. And I have 2 documents that I'm going to work from today. And I put both of them on the Team Rise Ellepreneur page. If you want to copy them or download them and go along with me today, or just grab a pencil and paper and make it really easy. The first one I want to share with you is called my success one sheet page. And it's not your definition of success is who you are, not what you do. And as I've learned more about a home-based business, we are really a personal growth business with a product attached. And I love the way what I'm going to share with you helped identify in me who I am so that I can apply my skills to everything and everybody I get to share with during the day. So who am I? What's my definition of success? And my purpose is not necessarily a passion, because a passion can change. But who I am, my character, my nature will develop. And so it's not what I do, it's literally who I am. So here's who I am. I'll give you some examples. I'm an encourager. I have a very clear focus. And I really value wisdom. There's a lot of knowledge out there, but I don't have to know the knowledge. What I want is that gut spiritual instinct inside that gives me the wisdom to be able to move forward with what I believe is right for me. I'm very visionary in what I do, which is why the apparel world was very successful. So as you're identifying the success for you and who you are, think of those things. Not necessarily I sell coffee or I do this. No, this is who I am. This is my character. And then the other question is, how do you want to live? Where do you want to live? I know I want to live in a warm, healthy environment with clear water. What kind of car do you want to drive? I know I'd like a really modern utility car that's got all the whistles and bells, and I'm madly in love with fast cars and classic cars. So I'll have both. Okay, I'm creating that image of what I want. I'm putting my dream board together in my own mind. And then what life do you actually want to live? I want to build my career around my lifestyle. To me, I think that is how I want to live. I don't just want to do work. That's why I've never been attracted to corporate America. I don't get it. I don't think that way. I think so out of the box. So let me ask you a question. How much money is that going to take to live the lifestyle that you want to live? There's two mindsets here, and that's usually what we fight with the most. It's either thinking in abundance or having a poverty mindset. And I know for me, I can go and waffle back and forth, focusing every day to not be double-minded, but I have to fight that poverty mindset. We're all very similar in that way. So how do I do that? I have to build positive things around me that are not necessarily the material things, but the core values of who I am. And that's what motivates me. So what's it going to cost for you to do this lifestyle in a month? Figure out what that's going to be. But consider while you're doing that, what you need to invest to be able to do what it is you're called to do. So I look at my coffee business, which I love, and on some months, all I've got is $100 to put into it. It's my smart ship, and then maybe a little bit of material or some travel material. Some months are just like that. Other months I could invest $500. What's that going to look like? It's more samples to be able to sell, to be able to share. It's more travel money. When you think of what it's going to cost to live your lifestyle, you've got to consider your travel, car. We've got a convention coming up in October. We want to all be there. So start to budget those things so that you can live the lifestyle that you've identified. And we're always careful that the price we pay to get what we want, that we always count the losses in that. So we are very mindful about what we do. And then what do I want to be? Who do I want to be out there for you? Here's the few things that I want to be. This is pretty transparent, but this is just me. I want to be a blessing to you. I want to be kind. I want to be giving and not covetous, which is envious. I don't want to be that at all. if you are able to do this business and soar past me, I want to celebrate everything that you've done, because I know when my heart's right, all those things come back tenfold. Those are the promises that I live by. So then what are my core values when I identify it? It's my purpose, and what my purpose is to make money, and then what I'm meant to do. And so that's kind of the first part of that. And the last one, I love this part. I hope you do as much as I do. What are your unique strengths? What are your superpowers? And if you've got a pencil and paper, there's 8 that you can kind of identify with, or at least I could. Number 1, pardon me, is linguistics. That's your intelligence. Number 2 is logical. What is your mathematical skills? Number 3 is pictures, your smarts, how you see things. Number 4, these are all unique strengths. Your body kinesthetics. That would be your controlled moves. Are you a dancer or a baseball player or a surfer? Those are very kinesthetic moves. Number 5 would be music. That's also an intelligence skill, how we rhythmically go there. And number 6 is your interpersonal intelligence. It's, are you people smart? Number 7 is intrapersonal. That's your entrepreneurial spirit. And I know you all have that out there. We wouldn't be on this thing. And then number 8, just to wrap that part up, is a naturalist. That's also an intelligence. What would a naturalist be? Think of like a gardener or a chef uses the things of the earth to bring into the things of our reality. So when I look at my superpowers, and you go back in and you look at those, who am I? What skills do I have? Here's how I rank them for me. Number 1, I see everything in pictures. Everything in pictures. It's the way I calculate. Number 2 is my interpersonal. My interpersonal is I'm very people savvy. I get a vibe. Whatever that is, it works for me. Number 3 is intrapersonal. I'm very entrepreneurial. I'm very outside the box in terms of what we would consider in a corporate world. And then the 4th thing would be linguistic. And the linguistic is the ability to develop the way to communicate. And so I'm sharing that with you because that was really a big piece for me. What motivated me with sharing this mindset with you is to help you identify who you are, not just what we do. And so how do we use these superpowers every day? We use them in relationships, family, business, activity, and in your everyday life. Those are how you use your superpowers. Once they're identified, then it's kind of a chuckle to go through the day and see how they just pop up, or at least it has been for me. And then I think about, who do I want to work with? The kind of people that I want to identify to work with are self-motivators. They're people that are fun, they're flexible, they're able to get out there and move past their comfort zone. Even if they can't in the beginning, many of us can't, you will be able to once you identify the strengths that you have. And what do those people want? Most of those people, including myself, we want to be excellent achievers. And when I put that excellent achiever part before I go to just get the job done, I know that what I'm going to contribute is going to have great value. And so what are the solutions for your purpose? And how do you solve problems? For me, it's to live that healthy lifestyle that I shared with you earlier that's built around my career so that I'm not missing a big part of my life while I'm building the income to live it. So the skills that we need to master this are really pretty simple. You need sales skills. And that's a really critical skill. And these are all learned skills, by the way. I wasn't born being, I'm an introvert. By nature, I'm an introvert. I have the most colorful mind. I could spend the day just kind of hanging out, dreaming. But that doesn't, that absolutely doesn't make me get to where I want to go. So I've had to learn to grow outside of that and become more well-rounded. Number two, what are your recruiting skills? I want you guys to fight for those talents. That's important. Have the tenacity to learn how to recruit, how to speak to people so that they come back and want to be a part of what you're doing. Leadership skills. How do we do that? You step out just like I've done today. It's my first training. I'm out here nervous, not confident, but I know that if I put my heart out there, I will get it back 10 times fold. And then productivity. When we think of productivity, you guys, I want you to think about what can help you. I am so blessed to be part of a success line with Tony Garcia, Chris Schweda, Marcy Kavanaugh, Ian, Ricky, all of you guys. And then I've got cross lines that I've just fallen in love with. We have the best, in my opinion, and I am not a spring chicken. I've done a lot with a lot of different people at different levels of life. But when you take a look at who's out there to embrace you, these are your mentors. And then there are people outside our business that do a lot of social media mentoring, and they do a lot of encouragement. And this that I'm sharing with you is from Darren Hardy. He is my personal favorite. And he's been at it a long time. And we all have the ability to choose. And I want to share with you too, when you start to invest in your own growth, there's a lot of things. If you can invest money in your own personal growth until you get to the financial place that you can be, then please just share what's out there that's free. There is so much good free material. And I can assure you that your mentors, your leadership have already invested in these things. Ask them, how do I grow in this area? What do you hear when you hear me? Are you seeing me grow? Where am I losing it? Okay, so that's the first part. And the second I'll do for you. Give me a minute. Funny how you get excited with a dry mouth. Okay, so the second part is what this whole morning training is about, is how do we get started. There's this other document that I put out there that you're all welcome to. It's Getting Started with Ellepreneurs. This is how you get to bronze. And this part is so important because we can duplicate this. Very simply, you can duplicate it. And here's the first few steps that we do on this paper. It's the first thing we do when we get somebody into the team. I kind of ask them 5 simple questions. You may want to write these down. It's actually not on the documents that I have out there, but the first thing I want to know, somebody who wants to come into the business with us is this a simple business? Now, every single one of you know that it's not easy, but is it simple? Sharing coffee, is it simple? I mean, we can wrap our heads around that. So I want them to think about if it's simple and if they'll do the work. That's the only part that is challenging. Is, yeah, it's simple to share a cup of coffee, but will you do the work? Question number 2 is, can I do the business? That seems like such a simple question, but actually, when you ask somebody if they can do the business, what we're asking them is, how much time do you have set aside to do the business? I know you're a busy mom or a busy dad and you already have a career and you're looking for additional income. How many hours a week do you think you can provide, and what would that look like? So, can you do the business? Will I do the business? Doesn't that sound simple? But honestly, will I do the business, or is this a spa membership for me? Am I going to start on January, gung-ho, go for this business, and 3 months fall off? Maybe it's really not for me. I want them to think about that in advance, because honestly, you know, each and every one of you, we tithe into these people. We want them to get what they want more than we want what we want. That's part of being who we are. So that's a serious consideration. And am I afraid to do the business? I would have never thought of that. But honestly, if building your own business is a new format for you and you go out and share it with your family, are you going to be as stable in being able to answer that? Is your belief that strong? Or are they going to blow you right out of the box and say, you know, I can't handle the pressure. It's too much for me. I'm embarrassed. So think about that and help your new people build their belief system. And then number 5 is, who's going to help me? Who's going to help me build my business? I'm telling you, that's what we're doing right now. We're here to help you build your business. You've got a phenomenal success line that's embraced you, and we're here to help you get that information and get it done. So I say all that and then get to getting them started. And by the way, again, these documents, I've posted both of them for your review on the Team Rise Ellepreneur page. And you can download them. They're just, one's a Word doc and another one, I think, the PDF, just a blank. And you can put your notes in there. Well, how do I get started? This is how we get started in our group. The first thing we do is a daily checklist. And what does that look like? It's spelled out right there. It's, you reach out to 3 to 5 new people. I'm going to give you a quick overview. You make 2 new friends a day. You follow up with 3 people, and you just duplicate it or triplicate it if you want to go faster. Where you find these people? There's lots of ways to find them. Christy, I'm just going to mute you. Sorry. And here's how we meet people. Lots of ways. Me, I love meeting people in person. And so I'll go to networking groups. I remember in 2005 when I first started my very first home-based business, I went to LaTip. It was me and like 10 guys. And these are people that are insurance brokers and they're computer guys, and they don't know how to build their business if they don't get personal referrals. So I went and I learned from, do you know, they're still some of my best friends. And they still supply great insurance. The guy still fixes my computer. I don't care what part of the world I'm in. He logs in and does it. Get out and meet people. Share with them what you do, because part of that exchange when you're in a networking group, I don't care if it's BNI, LaTip, we've got many women's networking groups. Those things are all really local. And they're there to find out about you. And if they support you, you support them. It's a great way to start if you haven't done that yet. The second thing is, if you live in a community that doesn't have much of a population, more than likely there's a chamber of commerce. There might be some street fairs. There could be some local fresh markets, things like that. Take your business cards. Why? Everybody drinks coffee. And our part is just to share our story. So that's kind of the belly to belly part of the business. The other, of course, is being able to do social network, social media business. And we've all gotten there's lots of us out there who have learned how to do it. I didn't do social media. I didn't even have a Facebook presence before I started this business. I had to change my mindset and the words that I said, and I had to get good at what I did. And I got a lot of free information, you guys. You don't have to spend a lot of money with these gurus out there to get started. Just learn how to tell your story. And we do a lot of attraction marketing, which means I don't get on Facebook and tell everybody about my coffee. I do tell them how much I love it and what the benefits have been for me, but that's how we start. And so that's how you start meeting people. That's number 1. Number 2 is get on our calls. This created my belief system more than anything else. There's a Tuesday night, Thursday night, Sunday night call on dosezoom.com. I'm sure you've all got that information, 8 o'clock Central Time. And it's a very simple process. They show the dose video, someone hosts it, and then it's all testimonies. And every single time, what I came away with was not only the pattern that was set up, that was so effective. It was the next day, wouldn't you know, lo and behold, I'd run into somebody who had an issue about a testimony that I just heard about. And so then I make it a third-party conversation. Hey, Susie, I can't believe you're dealing with la, la, la. My friend that I just met last night has the same thing, and you can't imagine that we actually have something that's helped her a lot. Can I share that with you? And so every day, I mean, that's 3 times a week. And then we have our Saturday morning calls. And then you may have a team call. But every single step of the way, you're building your belief. And so when you go out there, especially if you're a newbie and you go to talk to your family and your uncle says to you, I can't believe you're going to do that pyramid scheme. What kind of a kook are you? Then you can say, you know, I understand you don't get, I understand this doesn't fit for you, but I love the business model. And that's what I go to. It's not all about my coffee. I look at it, I told you I'm a conceptual thinker. I look at it from the standpoint is, what am I going to do? Am I going to work for a corporate company that I worked and made millions of dollars for, and in a heartbeat, they terminated me? Or am I going to build a network over a 4-year period of time, created as if it's my college education, and I know in 4 years I'm going to be where I'm going to be financially? I got to tell you, you're building a business that is so solid. And you know, I know they don't get it, and that's okay with me. They don't have to get it, but I get it. And I want you to build the belief so that you get it. So that's what those calls are for me. They have created the fiber that allows me to get out there and to give to you guys now what I've learned from our particular organization, our team, from Robert, showing up. You know, part of what we do is showing up, you guys. So this is your getting started document. And again, those are on the Team Rise Elapreneur page. You may have to scroll way down to find it. I posted it yesterday, but there's a lot of material that gets posted. Don't give up, it's in there. So there's and then we have our own teamwork call that we do on 5 o'clock. And you know what, that's really all it is. At the end of the day, what I want to share with you is there's some really, really important things. If you don't take anything else away, take this. Develop your belief, duplicate what you've been given, and connect. When you connect and do that third-party validation, which is all part of getting started, and you'll get all that on there, just follow the process. When you get involved and you get that connect and you're able to learn how to duplicate this very simple system and you build your belief system, you become unstoppable. So you know what, you guys, I think, unless there's any questions, which I'm happy to take them, I know there's been quite a bit about where the documents are. I'm hoping that you found them. If not, you know, we can just pin that to the top or repost it again. And let's see if there's any questions out there. I am open for them. I see you're there. Do I need to unmute everybody? No, I'll just unmute. If you have a question, raise your hand and I will figure that out. Well, there's a new message. I think we're good, you guys. Oh, okay, great. Oh, you're so welcome. All right, yes, thank you. Thank all of you. I hope this was meaningful to you. It's the core of what has helped me to build the structure of my business. And I want to tell you, after 7 months, really putting my heart and soul in this, when your team starts to develop, I feel like I have an ecosystem. And that I am, even though I do my business alone every single day, I am never alone. If I'm lost or I need something, there is people from here to Canada. I see you, Shane and Cassandra. I'm from all over that I can reach out and know that I'll help get an answer in a short period of time. So you're amazing and have a wonderful day.
I have a
And
question.
I'm done.
I have a
Hello.
question, if it's
Sure.
not too late.
No, not at all.
Okay. I was curious what your approach is with sharing the coffee or the cocoa with people you just run into randomly throughout life. So, for example, someone who hasn't complained about energy issues, someone who
Right.
hasn't, just you're blindly kind of bringing it up.
I ask them if they drink coffee. Are you a coffee drinker? And from that, they say yes or no, and I just say, do you happen to drink cocoa? And I will share with you. It's Sean, right?
Yeah.
I will share with you that I went after this with a symptom that I didn't realize I had until I had the coffee. In other words, I didn't realize that the power of a memory loss under pressure came from having some real challenges over the years. And I didn't do it to lose weight. I know many people start this as a weight loss product. And I didn't do this to lose weight. I did it because I wanted the energy. I wanted to feel on top of my game. And in particular, to start a new career. So what would I say to somebody? I'd ask them if they were a coffee drinker. And you know what I would do? I would say, would you mind sitting down and having a cup of coffee? I can't begin to share with you what my symptoms would be, or how I feel when I start to drink coffee. It's not always meeting someone who's brand new and then thinking you're going to be able to sit down. The most important thing we can do, Sean, is build a rapport. That might not be the first thing that you sit down and do with this new person that emailed you. Say, hey, are you a coffee drinker? Get connected with them in life. If you're out there just cold calling, then a lot of the cold calls I have found are not nearly as fruitful as if I meet the person and want to get to know them. And I always ask, so there's couple of ways to do it. And it's one thing to ask them if they drink coffee. The other thing, Sean, I always say is, hey, what do you do? What are you doing in life? What is really, do you have a career? Do you have a passion about what you do? Find out what you do. Get to know them. And I can almost promise you in that conversation, there may be an issue where you have the opportunity to say, you know what? I have something I want to share with you. I have a good friend who has that same thing, whatever that might be. And we've got this product. It's actually a nootropic. It's just coffee. But here's how it helped them. And if they can understand that you're not trying to sell them something, that you might have something that could help with their symptoms, then they may be open to trying your product. So you really have to start there. This is not like a Fuller Brushman that just knocks on the door, or we're out there day to day. It's we have product with us to share, and we look for opportunities to engage in a conversation. And I'm telling you, in the beginning, it's very embarrassing. It feels very, very stupid. I used to stand in the line at Costco and try to ask questions. Well, I hated it. But after a while, I got pretty darn good at it. Now I don't care. My confidence came from feeling like an idiot for quite a while. I don't know if that makes sense to you or anybody else, but it's really when you get a handle of what it is that they've got and what they do, eventually they're going to come back and want to know what you do. And it looks to me like you've got another career and that you're probably in the caring business. And just share, of all the crazy things that I get to do every day that gives me the energy, or this gives me the energy to do what I do every day. So that may help you.
Okay,
I hope it helps.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Anybody else? Are we good? Okay. Yes. All right, you guys. Hey, Marcia, I see you. I want you to have a wonderful day. I hope that you get to experience the best day ever. And I will see, hopefully, most of you next week. Either it's on Sunday Night Call or Tuesday or Thursday. And if you have any challenges with the documents, go back to Team Rise Elapreneur and scroll until you get them. Have a blessed day, you guys. I'll talk to you later. I think we're over and out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Julie.
You're welcome, Sandra.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Julie. Love you.
Bye, guys.
All right, thank you.
God bless
Thank
you.
You're welcome. Thank you.